the Swedes. Hello, Hobson. How's it going, you two crazy dogs? You guys, tonight Guac punched me in the face. I was like sitting on the couch trying to pet Chief Brody, and I moved his ball out of the way, and he jumped like with full force to try to jump over the couch to get his ball, punching out his opponent. Pretty sure my chin is gonna be bruised in the morning. It's a little puffy. Vink, what do you think? You wouldn't do this. All right, bye, Vink. We also have another very red sunset because of the fires in Cuba, so it's very dramatic. In. Cuba is like 90 miles from here. Yeah, we're literally closer to Havana than we are to Miami. It's about 150 miles to Miami, about 100 miles to like the very bottom of mainland Florida in the Everglades, and 90 miles to Cuba. Yeah, it's agricultural burns in Cuba and also on the Yucatan Peninsula, which is a bit further away, but I guess that smoke is getting kind of lofted up, and that is contributing to this. Swizz is definitely getting better. She's still anxious, but it's so much better than it was before we started on everything. So it's good to have her feeling better. Yeah, we get smoke here from Cuba not all that infrequently, like whenever they do agricultural burns, but like the last few mornings when we go out on our balcony, which is right up there where we usually eat breakfast, like it smells smoky. Like that's how much they're burning. Yeah, we're in the Keys. We're on Sugarloaf Key, so mile marker 17, pretty close to Key West. I am definitely not a crafty person. Like I have skills to do kind of crafty stuff, but I don't have the patience to be a good crafter. The worst foreign object incident definitely was Queso. She's the only dog we've had to have get surgery for foreign objects. Hey, Guac. It would be awesome if Guac can catch a fish, but I don't think he can really see them. Like Hops has way more patience for tracking them. We are still, so someone asked about starting online classes. We're still in the spring semester here in the US. Our classes at my university out here But yeah, so we're in the, someone had asked about online classes. We're in the end of the spring semester. So we have like 3 weeks left. And that's pretty consistent. Like some universities will end a little later. And then we're going to pick up online classes for the summer, which is like not a mandatory session. I think they start like May 15th, May 23rd or 4th. So we've got a couple weeks off. Guac, is there a rock? Come here, give me a rock. Oh, that's very good. Good job. Thank you for giving me the rock. It's like all hairy. You can't have that. No, you can't. No. You know what? Fuck it. Fine. That was pretty good, actually, that he came when I told him to. I see you got that off the bottom of the ocean. Good job. Aruba, you're not too far. So Jessica asked, have we ever had a chocolate incident? None of these dogs have really had one. But I had one of my previous dogs. It was like after Valentine's Day, and my dad had sent me like a heart-shaped box of chocolate. You can't eat the rock, which was very nice, but for some reason I hadn't eaten all of it. It probably had like fillings that I didn't like. And so there was like 1.5 pounds of chocolate left in a heart-shaped box. And I just threw it away. I was like doing a weekend clean out of, you know, stuff in the fridge that wasn't good and whatever. The rock's up there now. You're fucked. And so I had like a big black trash bag that had 1.5 pounds of chocolate in it, and my dog ate the whole thing. She also one time ate 1 pound of chocolate covered espresso beans. So those were both very dramatic. I have been to Scotland and everywhere else in the UK. Wales, England, Northern Ireland. Also been to regular Ireland, not part of the UK. I've been all over. I think it's great. I love it. Yeah, Vink just like does her own thing. Now what? I know, you can't get it up there. Too bad. How are my CS classes going? Here's what happened today, actually. I got 2 separate messages from people saying, hey, I was on Upwork, which is a platform where you can post like programming and design jobs for freelancers. I was on Upwork looking for jobs, and someone posted your final that they want to pay somebody to do for your class. And the student had literally just copied and pasted the final from the course website, which included links to like my web page and the course name, put it up on Upwork and offered to pay somebody to do it for him with his real name associated with it. So that's not going to end well for him, probably. What? Too bad. Yeah, I don't know. For cases like that where students, you know, it's weird because he didn't actually submit anything yet, but obviously you can't try to get people to do your final for pay. We don't really have a lot of control over that as professors. There's a university honor board and they handle it, so you just refer it to them. We got a bunch of barking in the front yard. What could that be? Is that your sister Swizz? Oh, that might just be some neighbors' dogs. Swizz, it's fine. Come and social network analysis. Sorry that yeah, it was totally glitching. Sorry, I like walked under the house and I lost the Wi-Fi signal. I did run today. Jared and I ran today for about 7 miles. It was very nice though. It's now pretty hot here in the middle of the day. It gets up to like 85, but it's like super humid, so uh, it's pretty oppressive. Today we ran on Cudjoe Key, which is like one island up from where we are. Oh, somebody's coming out up there. Guac hears him. I think Guac's coming up, Bingo.
Say what now?
I think Guac is coming. You heard Bink.
Okay.
Oh, you're back. Hi. My favorite running shoes right now, I'm running in Altras, which are a little weird because they're zero drop, which means the heel is at the same height as the toe, which is pretty unusual. It takes some time to adapt to that. Before that, I was running in Hoka's, which are super squishy and wonderful, and I really like them. But they have a kind of narrow toe box, which didn't work for me when I did super long runs. We have a podcast about our whole meeting story, how Giordad and I met. But basically, a mutual friend of ours, somebody who worked with him and was a graduate student in the department I teach in, basically set us up at a hockey game, and so we met that way. We're going to record another bonus podcast tonight, so that'll be up before bedtime tonight on the East Coast. Guac's training is coming slowly, very slowly, but it's getting there. He's doing better. If you're just starting out running and you want to get a pair of shoes, don't invest a ton of money in your first pair. So if you just need something neutral, like get a, $80 pair of like Nikes or New Balance running specific shoes, just kind of neutral ones. If you know that you're an overpronator, which is the kind of most common issue, which means you hit like, so when I run, I'm in my flip-flops now, but I tend to land like with the outside of my heel down. I always wear out, like, you can probably even see it on my flip-flops. I wear out this part of the heel a lot. If you look at your shoes and that part is really worn out, and then you'll kind of push off the toe, then get a motion control running shoe, but just get anything to start with and you'll figure it out. You don't want to spend a ton on your first pair because you want to figure out what you need. We have done a couple Q&As on the podcast. Episode 100, I know we did a long Q&A, but we've done a few other ones. I think it even says in the title most of the time if we've done Q&As. My favorite Caps player, my jersey is a TJ Oshie jersey. I think he's pretty great. Obviously, I'm an Ovechkin fan. Yeah, the Brooks Ghost is a good beginner, like running shoe if you need motion control or if you have shin splints. And that's, pretty affordable, which is good for a first one that you start with. Giordad and I are going to go back to DC whenever coronavirus restrictions are more lifted. We were supposed to be there now. We were going to spend all of April and part of May there. And so obviously that's not happening. So once stuff's open and like we can go to all our favorite restaurants and see our friends and everything, then we'll go back up there. So it looks like that might be June, maybe the end of May, but probably June. And then we'll probably go up for like a month and then come back down here. Yes, we're gonna, that trip will be our first group RV trip whenever we go back up to DC. It should be interesting. And just one more thing on the running shoes. If you have like a local specialty running store, not just an athletic store, but one that's specifically running, a lot of times if you go in there, they'll like let you take like try shoes on, take them out around the block and run in them and like really get a feel for them. So that's a great thing to do if you're just like not sure what you need. I've been a Caps fan since 2007. I grew up in or outside Chicago, and so my family's all Blackhawks fans. And I went to a couple of games growing up, but I was never really into hockey. And in 2007, I was living in DC, and I had a colleague who's Canadian, and he had bought tickets for a Caps game, and the guy he was going to go with couldn't go. And then I think he asked like 10 other people who also couldn't go. And finally, he asked me to go with him. And I was like, yeah, fine, I guess, it'll be something to do. I was single at the time. Not that it was a date, but just like I wasn't doing anything. I almost backed out at the last minute because I was like, maybe I'll just stay home and like watch Netflix. But I went, and it was like the first like live hockey game that like I really got to watch like as a grown up, and it was just like the most amazing thing. And I was like hooked. I went home, I bought a jersey like literally that night, like went and bought myself a Caps jersey, and I think I watched every game. Like I didn't miss a single game for like 3 years. So yes, I am definitely missing it now. Dad and I have gone to Germany. We've probably gone 5 times together. He goes pretty much every year to visit his family. I don't go every time, because it's just like him and his family hanging out like all day, every day. And they're very nice, but like I need way more space than that. And, it's when it's other people's family, it's different. A lot of times his daughter goes, which is cool, but it's just like, I want them to have their family time. So we've been all over. They live now in Meersburg by the Bodensee, down by the Swiss border, which is really beautiful. They used to live in, I'm totally blanking on it. I'll remember, obviously up north of there. And then Dad and I, we've obviously been to München for Oktoberfest. We've been to Saarbrücken, and then through the Schwarzwald up into, where did we go? I had a conference once. We spent like 5 days driving through. I've been to Berlin. We're going to Berlin in September again because I'm going to run the Berlin Marathon. And then the London Marathon's the week after that, so we'll probably spend that whole week in Germany. It's the time of Oktoberfest, so I'm guessing we'll be back to München for that and see his parents. And then pop over to London. Guac, how's it going? Dad is doing the Berlin Marathon and the Chicago Marathon. I think those are the only 2 he's doing this fall. Not to minimize it, like doing 2 marathons in the fall is a big deal. Yeah, I'm doing, so I'm trying to do all 6 of the World Marathon Majors, which is Boston, New York, Chicago, London, Tokyo, and Berlin. And I signed up for 5 of them this year. So I was supposed to do Boston and London this month, actually. And then Berlin, Chicago, and New York in the fall. And then obviously the spring marathons got postponed. So I'm doing all 5 of those in the fall in 7 weeks. So 5 marathons in 7 weeks, which should be pretty cool. And if that works, like assuming there's no issues that stop me from doing them, if I will get into Tokyo in next March, and that will make me and whoever else does that the world record holders for the fastest completion of the World Marathon Majors, which is pretty hilarious. You cannot have that rock. No. Yeah, I've been to Cologne, not with Giardad, but I went there when I was in college, which was pretty nice, but it was really cold. Guac, leave it alone. You're fine. You don't need that rock. It's fine. Nope. You can't have it. Nope. Come here. No, you can't. Nope. You lose your cool all you want. I'm not giving it to you. No. Nope. Too bad. Too bad. Swizz is doing much better with her new anxiety meds. So that's good that those are helping. Hi. It's pretty uncommon for someone to do all the world marathon majors like back to back. Just most people aren't trained to run that many that close. Like even if there weren't the coronavirus, like Boston and London were still 6 days apart. Like Boston was on a Monday, London was scheduled for the fall. For cutting their nails, it's I am. It's off of their. Let me Swizz. Stop that. You don't need it. No, it's bad for you. All right, let's see if we can shut that down. The question is, if I throw this, is he gonna like go dive for it? No, you stay down. All right, yes! Oh, I faked it. And see if he doesn't find it. Oh, I underestimated you. I'm gonna throw a tiny rock over there and a big rock. Oh no, it's 14 feet down. You can't get it. It does not float. Nothing is special about that rock. There's like, look at all these rocks. He'll pick any one. He just like, now he wants that one. But then he'll, I know, there's nothing I can do about it. So he's gonna swim around and then eventually he'll give up and he'll pick one of these many other rocks and then that'll be his rock. Hopper's rock was out today. I think it's back under the water over here, but the tide has been really high the last few days and it's finally gone back down. So you can see the very tip of her rock. You can sort of see it out here. Let me try to not trip and drop my phone in the ocean. That's Hopper's rock right there. You can see a little white spot on the top where she chews it. I'm showing everybody your rock, Hops. Now what? I'm glad you didn't dive for it. That's good. It would be funny to put a sign on that rock, especially when the rock is underwater. Yeah, he's a smart dog, but he's very obsessive about whatever it is he's chasing or obsessed with. He gets very focused. The GB in CBGB doesn't really stand for anything. Like we kind of say now that it stands for Chief Brody Good Boy, but CBGB was a 80s like hardcore punk club in New York, CBGB, and so it's also just really fun to say. Yeah, exactly like the New York Club. We've got it. We were just thinking this week that we should put the other dogs in the kayak. Jasmine and Vink both had kayak rides, but that's about it. So we were thinking we should try like Swizz and Hops and see how they would be. I know, right? Like, see, half the names I pick are just because it's like fun to say, and CBGB's like extremely fun to say. I should get him. I should get Chief Brody a CBGB T-shirt, which already exists. I don't know if you guys can hear him, but he's like sniffing while he swims, trying to find the rock. We can go try to find the Swizz. I think she's upstairs, but you guys should come up too. You want to go up in the elevator? Come on. Come on, let's go. It's time for the elevator. It's gonna be great. Oh, I think the elevator door is open upstairs. That means we can't bring it down. Come on, let's go. Usually Hops will come. All right, you guys take your time. Let's go find the Swizz. Oh, here they come. Come on, good job. Let's go. Yeah, so Chief Brody has like a little sleeve on his arm to keep him from scratching his elbow. It's definitely helping. Like, we can kind of have it off part of the time now. So I think once it heals up and his allergy fine. The internet wants to see the Swizz.
Wow.
Say hi to everybody, Swizz. You're so good. Oh, good job. Good job. Hi, Bonk. Hi, Swizz.
Swizz, you're doing.
Good job. Mink, good job. CBGB, good job.
Make sure no one's smiling away.
They were looking at me when I came in.
Yeah,
Hi, Brody. Hi, BB.
no rules anymore.
All right, everybody. Well, we're going to sign off and go podcast. So thanks, as always, for joining on the live stream. Vonk. Okay. That's fine. Okay. Say bye, CB. Thanks, everybody. We'll talk to you soon.